So, talking about US presidents and former presidents, with what has happened recently with the United States president being convicted of a felon, something I never expected to see in my lifetime. Even if I expected to see it, it was not going to be paying off a corn star. So, we'll be checking out how the US presidents travel so that what happened to JFK would never happen again. Obviously, this is a YouTube video, so I'm sure there are some classified things that nobody will ever know about, but for the ones that the public know, hopefully it's all mentioned in this video. Let's get right into it.
It is the worst nightmare of the Secret Service. An attack on the President of the United States while he's traveling. Hidden beneath this manhole cover is a bomb that went undetected, and it can be triggered remotely. Just seconds from now, the presidential motorcade will be passing over exactly this spot. But this is not the only danger. A few blocks away, there is a second threat.
Sniper.
Located in a dimly lit room, a sniper is overlooking the intersection, where the president will soon be. And a little further down the road, a van with tinted windows is parked, close to the blocked-off streets. Inside, a man is preparing a rocket launcher that will soon be aimed at the motorcade. Fortunately, these three scenarios are purely fictional, but they will demonstrate the rigorous effort the Secret Service undertakes to ensure that the president remains secure during travel. While the president is...
You know what, I've always thought about this, like all these presidents that visit countries incessantly, like you are putting your security personnel under so much pressure, you know, traveling here. Do you know what this security agency, this secret service or whatever security agency that each president has from each country, do you know what they have to go through? And for example, let me say for example, the US president travels to a different country, and the attack on him or her was done in that country. World War III has started. That was how World War I started. World War I started that way. So it's not going to be surprising if something like that causes World War III. So it's really scary to think about, to be honest with you.
Still about 2 minutes away from the manhole cover with the bomb, the first car of the motorcade, the route car, is already driving past this spot. This car, together with the pilot car, ensures that the road is clear of obstructions. The sweepers, which are primarily motorcycles, follow the route car and pilot car and help clear the road ahead. However, they are unable to identify the bomb, and the core of the motorcade, consisting of Secret Service vehicles with the president on board, is approaching. As the president's limousine rolls towards the manhole cover, a person remotely pulls the trigger, and suddenly, nothing happens. The remote trigger didn't work, and that is because of this car, the Electronic Countermeasure Suburban, one of the most technically impressive vehicles in the motorcade. On its roof, antennas emit radio frequencies that drown out any bomb activation signal.
Wow!
This technique is called barrage jamming, and it essentially works by the antennas emitting such a strong noise signal that other signals simply cannot get through.
Damn!
And so, the motorcade...
Wow, that's actually interesting. Wow! I mean, okay. I'm now pitting the Secret Service of, let me say, in the 1930s, how they managed. I think that was why presidents were able to be assassinated in the past. It would probably be almost impossible now to do, except it is an inside job. Wow. Okay, this is the first time I've heard about something like this. This is interesting.
A strong noise signal that other signals simply cannot get through. And so, the motorcade continues undisturbed towards the second threat, the sniper in the window. Located behind the Electronic Countermeasure Suburban is the president's vehicle, commonly known by its nickname, the Beast. However, you can never be sure in which car the president is, as there are two identical presidential limousines on the road. Following behind are two cars carrying the president's most important security personnel.
Imagine being imagine being the decoy vehicle where you know that if the president is supposed to be attacked, that if they mistakenly, choose yours, you're probably the the sacrificial lamp. Wow, that is such a sacrificial job. Secret Service.
Now, ready to take action in the event of an attack. This is the so-called halfback in which the president's personal Secret Service agents are located. No matter what happens, these agents will stay with the president. The other car carries the counter-assault team. These heavily armed agents can remain on site and fight off an attack. This creates a secure buffer between attackers and the president. Behind these cars are the control car and the support car. These transport additional Secret Service agents, essential presidential staff, as well as the president's personal doctor. But unknown to any of them, they are currently approaching another threat as the motorcade arrives at the intersection the sniper has scouted out. The fact that there are two identical cars makes it difficult for the shooter, but unfortunately he catches a glimpse through the glass, aims, and pulls the trigger.
Would that work? Unlike the other one that didn't work.
Such a scenario naturally brings back memories of the
But bulletproof,
1963
right?
assassination of John F. Kennedy, who was shot while driving his motorcade through Dallas. Since that time, the presidential limousine has undergone many changes. Kennedy's car was a specially modified 1961 Lincoln Continental. Unfortunately though, only a few of the adjustments made were related to security improvements. The car was retrofitted with a luxurious heating and air conditioning system, as well as lights, sirens, fire extinguishers, and radio telephones for communication. The car was also extended to include a middle row of jump seats that can fold away when not in use. In addition, the roof was made to be completely removable, and the cushion on the rear bank where the president sits was raised. Both these modifications were designed to make the president more visible to the public. Unfortunately, it also made him more vulnerable. After Kennedy's assassination, the car was massively rebuilt. A top of bulletproof glass was installed, and the body of the car was now protected with titanium armor. Perhaps somewhat symbolic, the light convertible appearance, representative of a hopeful time, was built up into a tank set to protect his more divisive successor. Luckily, today's limousine is well prepared for such an attack, and the shot has absolutely no chance of success.
Damn, really?
The current Beast has been in service since September 2018 and is a completely custom-built vehicle by General Motors. Although visually reminiscent of a sedan, the car was actually built based on a truck platform. This was necessary to support the over 15,000-pound heavy armored vehicle. The interior is hermetically sealed against any form of chemical attack. The tires are able to continue driving even when shot, and the doors are 8 inches thick and equipped with handles that, with the switch of a button, can be electrified in order to prohibit entry to outsiders. Always inside the car, there is a storage of blood of the same blood type as the president. It is a luxury tank designed to withstand any possible threat. But the biggest challenge in our scenario is yet to come, as just 2 blocks away, the van with the rocket launcher prepares to test the car's endurance. Behind the solid core of vehicles directly protecting the president are a few larger vans. These carry the press pool of reporters that travel with the president. This car behind is the ID car. It functions as the motorcade's communications hub, relaying information between the different vehicles and identifying problems early on. Behind that is the Hazardous Materials Mitigation Unit, a vehicle equipped to respond to biological, chemical, and even nuclear attacks. It carries the necessary equipment and personnel to treat the effects of such an attack effectively. This is the so-called Roadrunner, recognizable by the antenna above the roof. This car is the mobile communication hub of the motorcade, ensuring that the president is fully operational at all times. The car provides satellite and internet communications, and it feeds a direct encrypted link to the Pentagon, allowing the president to hold secure phone and video conversations, even when en route. At the back of the motorcade, a local ambulance will follow, just in case anything happens. And signifying the end of the motorcade are the so-called rear guards, local police cars that make sure that no other cars drive into the motorcade from the back.
Interesting.
At this point, the presidential limousine arrives at the intersection with the van. Quickly, a man jumps out and aims the rocket launcher directly at the limousine. For this case, the presidential limousines and the electronic countermeasure vehicle are equipped with smoke grenades. As soon as they are triggered, the cars disappear in the smoke, preventing a clear line of sight. This so-called infrared smoke screen is composed in such a way that it conceals the heat signature of objects. That means that even more complex guided missiles would not succeed in tracking the target. Meanwhile, the beast flees the scene. The presidential motorcade is a highly fought...
Wait. But wouldn't you have to know first before you activate that smoke screen? Like, how would they... Let me say the person just steps out. I know it doesn't, like, shooting a rocket launcher takes some time, but at least less than 30 seconds should be able to succeed, right? So if you do that, I suppose maybe before the person shoots it, the Secret Service will catch the person or something like that. Because I'm just wondering, what if you don't know that it's coming before you actually activate it? Or is it an automatic activator? So confusing.
Through system. Although the enormous number of cars may seem a bit arbitrary at first glance, a closer look reveals that the different vehicles all fulfill different tasks and together function as a White House on wheels. Though it's probably fair to say that besides justified security concerns, there's also some element of projecting power at play here. Today, the motorcade managed to successfully avert 3 different dangers. But the motorcade is only one part of a huge security apparatus, with another element being Air Force One, the call sign for a heavily modified Boeing 747, on which the president travels. This plane was severely tested when it served as a refuge for George Bush during the attacks on the country on September 11, 2001. With the president spending much of that day on board.
Man, that is like that was incredible. That is so incredible. All that to protect one human being. That is crazy. That is just crazy. Actually, the difference between like my country, the president also has this kind of motorcade as well. Plenty vehicles, but I don't think it's this technical. Maybe it is, but I don't know about it. But it just looks like basically a bunch of soldiers and security personnel following. Like, I don't think it has all these technical. Maybe it does. Let me not be saying what I don't know. Maybe it does, but this was incredible. What do you guys think about this? Do you think this is too much money spent? But I think it's money worth it, because even though you may not care about the press, I notice this thing in the US a lot. Like, unlike other countries where presidents, the decisions that they make can actually really affect people's lives. People can be suffering and like like my country, for example, where if the president passes away, some people will celebrate. They will actually celebrate. Um, on the other hand, the US is not like that. I know some people may want to think differently, but I don't think the US, the president's decisions really affect you that much, to be honest with you. It just doesn't. And if a foreign adversary kills your president, it's not just about the fact that you don't like the person. It's that it shows weakness to your country. So, but I do know that, let me say, for example, if Joe Biden, if something happens to him, I'm sure some people will celebrate. And if something happened to Trump, I'm sure a lot of people will celebrate. So America is such a weird place these days, in my opinion. I just think it's just so divisive now. So probably some people may just look at this like too much waste of money, while some people will think of it like it's worth it. So it just depends on how you feel about the particular president. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.